Hey family, how y'all doing? Let me tell you something. For somebody who was like, Blue, did I read that correctly? Does it say Monday Hot Topics Get Ready With Me edition? Yes, it does. And why are we doing a Get Ready With Me? For two reasons. Number one, several weeks ago, a bunch of y'all were like, oh, you should do a Get Ready With Me. We want to watch you do your makeup, even though I barely wear it. And number two, I'm currently traveling. And I have back to back meetings all day. I'm on the East Coast right now. Hey, Flo. Hey, Zeus. Hey, I've never seen you before, Zeus. Hey, Bria. Hey, everybody who's coming in here. Welcome to those of you who are new here. Welcome back. My name is Bluecentric. I'm a writer, producer, spiritualist, and an emotional intelligence coach who uses pop culture and politics as a launch pad to talk about emotional intelligence, ego death, and personal growth. And I also usually have a makeup artist who's working on my face while I'm typing and working. I'm currently on the East Coast, which means I have to do my own makeup. I don't want to do my own makeup, which is why I don't wear makeup. I don't enjoy doing it. And I realized when I looked at my schedule, the only free block of time that I have today is the 90 minutes that I put aside to do a no makeup look. And so that's why your wish for us to do a Get Ready With Me is happening, because it's a necessity. I quite literally don't have any time to go live unless we talk as I'm doing my makeup. So yeah, if you're not into makeup, don't worry. There will be videos playing while I'm trying to fix my stress pimple and all the other stuff. I went to Sephora yesterday, which is, by the way, guys, if you want to know anything that I'm wearing, because I feel like whenever people do makeup looks while they're talking, people are like, oh, what's that? What's that? You already know I got ADHD. Okay. Y'all already know I got ADHD. Is the light bright enough? Hold on. Let's see. Is the light? No, it's too dim. Well, this is as bright as it's going to get. Because I have ADHD, I went ahead and found all the products that I bought, the emergency products that I bought, because I didn't bring any makeup with me to the East Coast. I came to Boston with nothing but moisturizers and skincare, right? In fact, I have a facial scheduled tomorrow to address my skin problems that have happened in the last week from stress and also, funny enough, makeup. When I went to Sephora yesterday, they said, if you are somebody who does not wear makeup and has gone a long time without wearing makeup and you start wearing heavy makeup to be on camera, your skin goes into shock. So the whole time I thought I was getting stress pimples, my pores are just clogged because they're not used to. Imagine you're somebody who doesn't ever wear panties and suddenly you're wearing tidy whities every day. Your cooch might be a little shocked, right? Same thing with your pores and your skin. Why can't I think of another example? What is wrong with me? Anyways, so my skin is in shock from all the makeup I've been wearing. And by all, I mean once a week. My skin's in shock from all the makeup I've been wearing. So I had to run to Sephora and buy all these products. They're all linked in the whatever. Somebody said, I'm not hip to the lingo. What lingo? Oh, you didn't know what a GRWM Get Ready With Me? So yes, guys, I am going to be doing makeup while doing hot topics. Funny enough, there was a whole list of hot topics that I wanted to talk about, but considering we only have until 4 o'clock when I have to rush off to my next meeting, only 2 hot topics I think we're going to have time for. And the first one is not Nicki Minaj. Okay. The first one is not Nicki Minaj. The first hot topic that we're going to talk about is actually Mariah the Scientist and then Nicki Minaj, because I was curious about how the barbs were. Hold on. I have to figure out how to do this. And ooh, a spoolie. I have to figure out how to do this and talk to y'all because, again, this is a necessity. I never thought I'd be the girl on live doing her makeup, but you know, this is why you shouldn't judge, child, because now my life has made it a necessity. So we're going to talk about Mariah the Scientist first, and then we're going to talk about how the barbs are reacting to them finally figuring out what we knew all along. Before I start doing makeup and watching the video with y'all, because there will be a video playing that y'all can watch while I'm doing my makeup with Kiki. Somebody said, hold on, thank God I need a break from her. Oh, from Nikki? Yeah, we're going to get to her, but not first. We're going to start from Mariah. Who's Free the Coach? Not the no draws reference. I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody said, you thought I meant grown women get ready with me? That's hilarious. Y'all didn't understand the acronym. The barbs are not okay. And I do have a compilation of the barbs who have come to their senses and those who are still holding on by the skin of their teeth. Okay. For those who are wondering about Mariah the Scientist, we have done so many lives where we've talked about how women somehow convince themselves to devalue themselves, no matter how valuable they objectively are, just to buy into this idea that a piece of a man is better than no man. Right? I disagree with that. I think a whole man is the only kind of man I want. I do not want pieces. Okay. But Mariah, somebody said Mariah is the typical pretty ATL bird brain. Who she's pretty, she might have a good business, she might make good money, she might even have a strong father figure at home. But then you look at the men that she dates and you're like, what happened here? What went wrong here? Right? I'm not from Atlanta, so I can't say that she's a typical pretty bird brain, but those of you from ATL, y'all can chime in. Somebody said, Blue, may I kindly ask if you do tropical astrology or Vedic? I do the regular Western one. Vedic astrology, I don't do. I find it fascinating, but I don't do Vedic astrology. In Vedic astrology, by the way, I'm an Aries. And Vedic astrology, I am not a Taurus. I am an Aries. I'm never beating the allegations. So yes, I don't do Vedic astrology, but my sister, who's an Aries Taurus cusp like me, but she's the Aries part and I'm the Taurus part. So the Aries Taurus cusp, guys, is April 19th to the 24th. My sister's the 19th, so she's an Aries, even though we're both the cusp. I'm the 24th, so I'm a Taurus. In Vedic astrology, everybody gets pulled up a couple of days. Those couple of days suddenly make me just a fucking Aries. That's it. That's it, right? And because my Mercury, how you communicate, is Aries, nobody's surprised by that. Anyways, guys, let's get back to the show because y'all, again, guys, we can't do a 3.5 hour live the way we usually do. I know we come on here, we key, y'all get y'all snacks. You know, you run errands. I'm still talking. It's not gonna be one of them days. At 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, this is ending whether we finish or not. All right. And by the way, if you're saying, Blue, if you only had 90 minutes of free time, why are you spending it with us? Because I love y'all. Duh. Like I missed y'all. Like I took 72 hours out from from live streaming. And so much happened in that 72 hours. All right. So let's just get started. If you don't know, Mariah the Scientist is one of the people that we often use to talk about how women justify marginalizing themselves and then helping men do so as well. And we thought that she and Young Thug were on a timeout because he was crying on the internet about how he fucked up his relationship. Well, I said, I missed you so much. I'm watching your old lives. Oh, watch the newer ones. I get a bigger RPM. But yes, I appreciate that. So we're going to level set. Y'all know how we do because 40% of y'all never have any idea what we're talking about. You're just here for the vibes. We're going to level set on how the engagement went, the reaction to the engagement and all that good stuff. Have a quick conversation about the obvious. And then we're going to pivot to Nicki Minaj, child. I know I have to talk about Nicki Minaj, right? Like the Nicki Minaj topic is one where it'd be socially irresponsible for me to go live today and not mention it. So it's almost like I feel like I have to, like I just work here. So before we talk about the elephant in the room, I'm not calling her elephant, Barbs. Calm down. Let's talk about Mariah real quick, who is not a scientist because scientists know how to calculate chemistry.
I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of sad that Mariah's proposal isn't like the proposal that, like, you know, a girl would dream of, like the environment.
Oh, wait a minute. Before we talk to Mariah the Scientist, I forgot to tell y'all what happened to me at Sephora. I went to Sephora. For those of you who haven't been to Sephora in a while, because I haven't, they have a machine that they put on your forehead that tells you your exact color at every range of makeup. Did y'all know about this? Am I the only one who didn't know that Sephora had a forehead and cheek machine that will scientifically tell you your color? So I put the machine on my forehead with the lady, and she said in Fenty, because I am buying Fenty products. For those of you who are looking into the chat or the description, if you're gonna buy products, please buy them for my little links. I think I get like a little kickback. I am a Fenty girl. So I went to Fenty with my little chart from the machine. The machine said that I was either Fenty 400 or Fenty 420. Now, you know, if you know how pro-black I am, if you tell me Fenty 400 or Fenty 420, which one do you think I picked? I picked the 420. Okay. The lady told me I was 400. We argued for a couple of minutes because y'all know how I feel about being black. But she told me that because I live in LA, that's why I can wear Fenty 420 because there's sun in LA. But that if I ever move back to Boston, I'd be wearing Fenty 400. Guys, I'm never moving back to Boston. But for the girls who, not dark beige, that is not dark beige, it's chocolate. This is chocolate. I don't know what y'all talking about. But for the girls who, okay, color is much. For the girls who wear Fenty 420, just know in the winter you could get away with Fenty 400. I won't be doing that, but you can. All right, let's continue and watch back. Not too much, guys. Keep it cute.
Itself was crazy. Thug proposes to her during the concert, and the audience is screaming, "Say no, say no, say no!" Like, where would that happen during any proposal?
Do you literally hear these people screaming no? They're screaming. They're literally screaming, say no. I look crazy. I've never understood girls who do their makeup on, oh, by the way, guys, one of the products I bought was this cute little travel container where they give you a bunch of brushes. Now, I don't know if these brushes are worth the damn. I probably should have opened them before we did the live, but I had meetings. But the fact that the audience is screaming, say no, while she's getting engaged, my literal nightmare. Mariah the Scientist is living my literal nightmare. My nightmare in life is that I will do everything I need to do to live my dreams, work really, really hard to be the best me that I could be professionally, and picking the wrong man could undermine all of it. That is literally, she's literally, this is a lot of goddamn brushes. If you're a travel girl to get this brush set, this is a lot of brushes. My God. But which one is for the, here's the thing. I don't buy makeup, but I love good brushes. I miss my brushes at home, but this is cute. Isn't this cute, guys? And it closes up. Anyways, so yeah, for those of you who missed this part, oh, and they tell you what they are. I can just read them. Not me doing a fucking commercial for Sephora. Sorry, guys. Somebody said blue is just so chaotic. Somebody with ADHD doing Get Ready With Me. Y'all asked for this. Maybe when we do this, you'll see why you should never ask for Get Ready With Me again. But the fact that she's getting booed and being told no while he's proposing is absolutely insane. And also kind of proves my point that even her fans are begging her to say no. And, oh, I didn't put on my primer. Fuck. This is so chaotic. This is so chaotic. Again, you guys, we are going to be getting sponsored by ADHD shirts. I've been talking to my team. Who the fuck am I team? But we are going to be getting sponsored by ADHD shirts because all my shows. This is the Fenty primer. How cool is this? It looked like one big pink doo-doo stream. Okay, that's not how I need to describe that. All right, let's go back to the horrible. Well, speaking of doo-doo streams, segue. Let's go back to this horrible ass fucking proposal. Oh, he's a piece of shit. Put it on. Put it on. My babies, let's go. Y'all, I just realized I'm not sure I bought a sponge. Did I forget to buy a blending sponge? Am I gonna have to fucking call not TaskRabbit? Am I gonna have to call what they call it? DoorDash to bring me a sponge? Bitch, this is why I don't do my own makeup. This is why I don't do my own makeup. Because the fact that, do I not have a sponge? Bitch. Ooh. And for those who are wondering, yes, I'm going to be on Carlo King today. Bitch, I don't have a sponge. I was going to buy the sponge, and I think the lady talked me out of it. That bitch. Well, Carlos Kim's gonna get whatever I come up with, child. If you see me on Carlos Kim looking crazy, look away. Boo! Boo! Oh shit! I can hear them booing.
He really just proposed.
He just proposed to her, bro. Like at the concert.
Like I thought this was
like
just a
I thought.
song. No, but he proposed to her.
Is this authentic?
Is this real?
Is this really
Am I
happening right
living
now?
life?
I can't believe. I don't think. There's no way this is real.
And I'm gonna add to the Mariah the Scientist Young Thug conversation. I feel like him grabbing her arm so aggressively is not a good sign. Like, I'm not saying that he's, you know, he puts his hands on her, but I feel like if I'm being proposed to, I want to feel very dainty and special and cute. And for you to yank my arm to come here so you can propose to me, no.
Not the replay. Ooh, this primer feels good.
Yeah. For all y'all who was at that concert when that nigga proposed, y'all was all yelling no. Y'all were supposed to yell boo.
Exactly.
That's how.
Ooh, guys, not to be nasty, but the way this squirts out, this is luxurious. What the fuck is this? Y'all tell me, because I wrote it in the description. Fenty Beauty, what is it? Mattifying and blurring primer? Ooh, this feels like skincare. Ooh. Okay. Oh, Rihanna. Hold on. Okay, one of the things about me as somebody who is neurodivergent, texture means a lot to me. This feels amazing. This feels like my nighttime skincare routine. Okay, somebody said Blue, as a retired, yes, as a retired MUA, God gave to 10 perfect brushes sponges. Use your fingers. They'll also warm the. Thank you, because that's what I'm gonna have to do anyway. So God knew what they were doing. I call God they because, you know. Anyways, guys, let's go back to the fact that Mariah the Scientist might have just sold her soul to the devil.
She would have known. Y'all was yapping too much. Y'all was.
Ooh.
No, she couldn't understand the emotion y'all were trying to convey. Y'all was supposed to yell boo. That's what you were supposed to do. Y'all didn't send the message correctly. Maybe y'all was too geeked. Maybe y'all was too high. I don't know. But the crowd was supposed to scream, boo! Y'all did that wrong.
Thug is running a very old play. These are old strategies, y'all. These are old strats. Ancient text. Thug is running a very old play on Mariah, and unfortunately, it's probably gonna work. Now, when you run this play, no one wins in the long term. Thug don't really win. Mariah definitely won't win. It's a very old play, but for whatever reason, it has a very high success rate. I embarrass you, I make you look stupid, and then I'm gonna just propose because that's gonna make everything. You always want to be married. I'm gonna give you what you want. And now I'm just doing the same thing I was doing to you in marriage.
Yep.
So now, like, there's a financial reason for you to be around. Guys, ladies specifically, don't fall for the play.
I have a question. So all the people in here who want to be married, if you don't want to be married, this question isn't for you. Do you think that being married to somebody who is only, let's say, and by the way, guys, I when I do makeup, I try to do it as quickly as possible. I'm being gentle, but I'm being quick. Would you rather be single and happy at a 7.5? No. Would you rather be single and happy at an 8? Or would you rather be married with children, happy at a 6? I'm curious. Be honest. Would you rather be single and happy at an 8 or married with children and happy at a 6? I'm intentionally picking those types of numbers for a reason.
It's a trick play. It really isn't even a trick play, but for whatever reason, it functions as one because you know what the end result would be, but people act like they don't know what it is.
Yep.
Ladies, don't fall for this. This is our great-grandfathers was doing this. My daddy wasn't doing this. Praise God, I had a good father, but you get my point, guys. These are old texts. Ladies, be careful.
Mariah the Scientist, congratulations are in order.
Oh, I love this girl, but she be reading people down, though. She be reading the girls down. Somebody said, okay, so let's see what you guys are saying. You're saying single and happy at an 8. Okay. 8 all day. Can anybody be honest? Is there anybody in here who would pick a 6? Is the 6 factoring in this? Yeah, well, one would argue the 6 is because of this spouse, child. Yes, this happy by yourself at an 8 or above 0. I mean, above halfway. 6 is above halfway, right? Or your happiness is a 6, but at least you have a husband and kids and you're not going to die alone. Because can I be honest? I think a lot of women, not all, because I know some happily married women who have great husbands. And I also know women who are not happily married because they're the problem. So when I say the six might not even be your husband's fault. You might be the architect of your own demise. So Flo is saying that she would take a 6 for her kids. See, thank you for being honest, Flo. Can we be clear? Even though most of you are saying 8, in real life, most women pick the 6 from what I've seen. In real life, most women either pick the 6 or they want the 6 and they're still upset because they have the 8 instead. And Gia is saying Young Thug is a 3. Oh yeah, Young Thug is definitely a 3. But think about that, guys. Be honest. This is me trying to humanize Mariah the Scientist. Do I agree with her actions? Well, it's none of my business what she does, but I don't agree with it. And though, I also recognize she's doing, and she's from the South, right? She's doing what a lot of women do. So we can't act like we're better than her. She's choosing the 6, or to Gia's point, a 3 over an 8. And a lot of y'all do that. A lot of us do it.
But first, leave that ring and that man at home. I need you to step into my office. First on the docket, don't have a baby. Look at his baby mamas. Would you ever want to switch lives with them? And I don't mean when you made him a better father because you started dating him. What was he like before? Because that's what your future could be like. Don't have a baby. Second on the docket, I think
Mariah the Scientist has already come forward and says that she wants to take a break from music to have a baby. And given how bad her music can be, vocally, because her writing is excellent, but given how bad her vocals are,
you should do a song with Cardi B. 1, the girls would live. It would be amazing. Everybody's gonna go up for it. I'd love to see the fashions because both of y'all dress really well. But also, and Cardi B has already walked this path. She's been there with the engagement. She's been.
Do you know Cardi B is the first person I thought of? Cardi B is the first person I thought of when I saw what happened. I was like, oh, this is totally Offset all over again. I wouldn't be surprised if Young Thug was inspired by Offset to do this. Now, guys, I'm about to do something that a lot of people think is crazy when it comes to makeup, but I like to do makeup for the lazy girls who don't like doing makeup. I'm going to spray my setting spray halfway through during this step. Oop, I almost dropped my soda. I am going to look how crazy I look. This is why I don't like makeup. Even though right now I just look like an emoji because I haven't done any contour or anything. I've heard that when you put setting spray on after your foundation, before you do anything else, it makes it more mattifying. And I'm going to be on camera for like 4. I'm doing 2 hours of taping with Bridget, and I'm doing 2 hours of taping with Carlos King. So my whole point was just not to look sleepy, right? So I'm going to do the setting spray now and then do my contouring and everything else. Has anybody else ever heard of this? You do something similar, Empress? Okay. No, you guys, when I put on foundation before I do any contouring, I look like the black version of the emoji. If they allowed you to make your emojis your skin color, this is me. I look like a fucking emoji. It's fine. I still love myself.
There with the cheating man that said he would change and then you hope things would get better. She's also been there with the marriage and the family. So even if you do decide, if y'all, I'm marrying my man, y'all hoes just jealous and I held him down, so I'm gonna see it through. Even if you do that, she could also tell you, okay, cool, marry him, but make sure you have this in your prenup. Marry him, but make sure you have this as a custody agreement. Marry him, but make sure he can't move a bitch into y'all's home and then try to make you pay for the home. Like, Cardi has already walked this road. So
True.
She could tell you what it's like. She could also tell you if one day
Cardi crawled so Mariah could face plant. Cardi crawled with Offset so Mariah could face plant with this human booger that she just got engaged to.
You decide you want to make a different choice, she could also tell you how to leave. Another person who could tell you how to leave, Megan Thee Stallion. I would love to see y'all collaborate because I know the song would eat, the girls would live, but also Megan could tell you, hey, when you are ready, because you're not seeing the things that you deserve, this is how you can go. I just feel like instead of everybody just cussing you out, it's time to have people around you that if you do decide to make another choice, because
Now, this is the part that me and my makeup artist be arguing about. When she puts on the setting spray, she drowns me. Like, I'm like, do you hate me? Do y'all do a little bit of setting spray or a lot? I think I ate some of it. It's in my throat. Sorry. We should do a new series called The Girl Who Hates Makeup Having to Do Her Makeup. Because my financial advisor just told me that I've spent too much on my makeup artist this month from being lazy, and that she's insisting that I do my own makeup. What do they call this? Am I a de-influencer? Oh, God. I think it's in my booty hole. What the fuck? I've never used this before. It's called the one size mattifying sunscreen / setting spray. Because guys, even though I'm dark skinned, I'm still Cuban, so I actually do tan very easily because of my undertones, and so I like it that this has some sunscreen because I hate looking like a panda bear. I once went to South Beach with a nigga who I had no business dating, and I went outside to CVS to grab something real quick and didn't wear any sunscreen. And when I came home that night, we were about to have sexy time. I took off my t-shirt and he was like, "Why do you look like a panda bear?" Because my titties were light skinned, but my arms and my neck were dark. And I was like, "Excuse me." So I love being chocolate, but I just want to be one color. Yeah. We didn't have sex that night. You can't call me a panda bear and think I want you to hunch on me. But I do have some insecurities about how quickly I tan because I hate being different colors based on whichever the sun can kiss. So I like that this one size, I think it's inside of me now. I like that this one size spray has sunscreen. Okay. I am the worst influencer ever. If I ever do a brand deal, they're going to have to understand who the fuck. This would be my commercial for one size. One size, because niggas don't like to fuck panda bears. Okay, sorry. ADHD. Back to the fucking video.
Be real. It's easier to leave as an ex-wife than it is to leave as a baby mama. But if you are either or both, you can always make a different choice. Congratulations, girl. Bye.
Am I the only one that would literally stop listening to an artist's music depending on how they live their life? Because
yes, I do the
people
same.
need to understand that music isn't neutral. It carries the inner state of the person who made it. And when you consume it repeatedly, you are letting that person touch your psyche. You're letting their music seep into your psyche. And that is dangerous. Like, for example, the person that I stopped listening to recently is Mariah the Scientist, especially seeing that engagement yesterday. And I love the song Burning Blue. I really do.
Burning Blue.
I can't listen to the song the same way because and here's the thing, I'm not judging her because everybody has their own life choices and what they do and how they move through life. But your choices and how you move through life, I don't want that to affect me. So when you move through life and you keep taking a man back who keeps cheating on you and you have...
I actually agree. When Burning Blue came out, for obvious reasons, I was playing that song all the time because I just loved that it felt like, Promise. Oops, I did too much. Promise by Sierra, it felt like a Lazy Girls 2025 rendition of Promise. And I loved Promise when Promise came out. So I love Burning Blue because it reminded me of Promise, but it also had my name in it. And I'm a simple bitch, right? I mean, all you got to do is put blue in a song that I actually even marginally like. And now it's going to be my favorite song. The problem, though, with that is I do believe in energy transference. And now that I think Mariah is a dumb bitch who is glorifying the kind of love that I hope never finds me, I can't listen to that song no more. I can't. I don't care if she called it Burning Blue Toulousement. Well, that sounds bad. That sounds like ointment. But I can't listen to a song that I loved now that I know her personal choices. Even that new Summer Walker album, which is a song called I Should Have Robbed You. What you mean should have robbed? What? I'm a master manifester. I'm not sure I'm not even allowed to sing songs like that. I Should Have Robbed You is crazy work. So I actually agree with this adamantly. There's a certain level of fuckery where I cannot separate the artist from the art, which is a great segue into what's about to happen when we talk about Nicki Minaj, because a lot of the Barbs are jumping ship because they're coming to their senses. But also there are some Bobs who are saying, I hate what Nicki did, but I'm going to separate the artist from the art. You can't. I think at a certain point, the artist can be egregious enough where that no longer makes sense. Like, I used to love R. Kelly's music. R. Kelly is the soundtrack of my entire fucking childhood. R. Kelly is the singer of my childhood. Him and Michael Jackson and a couple of others. I had to let him go. And Summer What breaks my heart about Summer is I don't stop listening to her old music, but the new music is jaded in a way that I don't want to manifest. What sucks about Summer is Summer Walker is hands down. If you want to argue with me, argue with your mother. I believe. Oh, this is my skincare bag. I miss you. I'll see you tonight when I take this bullshit off. Sorry, but Summer Walker, to me, is the closest we've had to 90s R&B when it comes to the girls. I know me and Kehlani are birthday twins, so you would think I would say Kehlani. No. Summer Walker is the 90s wave for this age group. She, in my mind, is one of the most talented singers to come out of this age demographic. And the fact that she's going out sad, she didn't, grape anybody. So I'm not saying I'm boycotting her, but her newer music, I can't do it. I can't do her new music.
Have this idea of what love is, and you put that through your music, and you sing, and you let that frequency out, and you push it out into the world, and someone like me listens to it, it seeps into my psyche. Yep. And I start to think differently about love and what I think it should look like. And I
not to joke, but one time my friends and I were eating edibles because y'all know I have really, really, really extremely bad menstrual cramps. And so I did not start using edibles till I was 30. Guys, this is the color they told me to use for my contour. I thought this was my foundation color and the lady yanked it from me. So if you wonder how I look in my head, if I could pick my dream skin color, it'd be this. Look how pretty this is. Look how pretty this fucking color is. If you are this color, just know that you are God's favorite. This is a Fenty. It's called Espresso, and it's a contour. It's a matchstick. Somebody said, "You are that color. I love that. My mommy is this color." I think this color is so fucking rich and pretty, right? And am I the only one who makes the fish face when we now wait, what? Why are you saying now blue? For those who ask what's the difference between contour and foundation, contour is meant to create shadows. So I'm going to use this to accentuate my cheekbones because I naturally look like just a baby who just drank a lot of milk. So this is going to give me more, more of that. All right. So what happens if you're darker than that color? Oh, they have this in darker shades. You just pick something that's a couple of shades darker than your natural skin to do contour. I also, this is something all the big girls, you all know we do this. I go like this. You see this double chin that y'all are so used to? I go like this to make it disappear. So I'm gonna look, it already disappeared. Is that not fucking? That's one thing I do like about makeup is they make my double chin disappear. Blue, and I will also use blush as well. Yes, but yeah, I go like this, and then I make my chin disappear. And then I don't actually mind my nose. I don't want to do a lot of contouring. I'll go like this to create some dimension. You guys, I should do makeup tutorials for girls who are incredibly fucking lazy. And then I go like this to contour my nose. It looks crazy. I know. You contour your double chin too? Look, my peak. That's why I fuck with y'all. I do understand why girls like to get ready with me because I do feel more vulnerable watching y'all watch me draw on my face. This is kind of fun. I'll be having fun after I done complain and talk all that shit. My bad, y'all.
I slowly, subconsciously start to think this is love. Somebody mistreating you and coming back, doing that push and pull. Oh, they must know. They love me though. They love me. That is what I mean when I say it's kind of dangerous. Mm-hmm. And spiritually, because I have done so much healing and my mindset and my frequency is higher, my body literally cannot take on certain music. And it's not even about me like turning the music on and then just listening to it. It's just like, oh, I just get this off feeling and I turn it off. And again, this is not to judge these women. This is how they live their life. Mm-hmm. But their way of understanding, they're not where I am right now in terms of their healing from what I'm seeing from the outside. Now, I could be completely wrong, but seeing how you move through life in relationship and your understanding of the world, I don't want your energy to seep into me. So I will literally stop listening to your music.
Now, for those of you who are like me, who weren't paying attention, because I was so busy talking to y'all about how much I love contour, I accidentally put a little bit too much right here. Don't worry about it. I do this often when I'm talking too much. If you've over contoured, you just take your concealer and fix it. I do this quite a lot. You take your concealer and fix it, and then you get your cheeks back. For the girlies who be over contouring because they're not paying attention, shout out to ADHD. Your concealer and your contour work together to create shadows. Mind you, I barely do makeup, but when I do, you know.
And Summer Walker is another person that I stopped. Like her previous album before this one, y'all, I couldn't even get into it. I had to shut it off. Like the first song, I'm like, I can't. I can't take somebody else's essence into me. Am I the only one? Like, I don't know.
If y'all aren't gonna say it, I will.
Say it.
The Ring is ugly.
Ooh!
It's so gaudy.
Wait a minute now. I'm sorry. Y'all know I do this thing where I pick videos based on the opening line. I actually do not remember this being an opening line. What the fuck was I? Oh, that's petty. The Ring is, it's an acquired taste. The Ring is definitely an acquired taste. I'll say that.
And tacky looking. It looks cheap. Mariah has such a cool sense of style. She's such a cool girl, edgy, this urban princess kind of vibe. And The Ring is not giving me that. It's just giving Cracker Jack ring.
Ooh.
Costume jewelry.
Damn.
Prize that you win after you trade in tickets at the arcade.
Damn.
And from my research, she expressed what type of shape of diamond she wanted. She
Does Mariah decide just all her money? Am I the only one who thinks that was a lot? God damn.
said it was a marquee diamond. Personally, that's my favorite diamond shape as well. And that would have fit her vibe so much better.
It would have.
This would have been so much better. All right. It's still a pale pink diamond, but it's marquee shaped and it's on a gold or rose gold band. Just simple, cute, but still a little different. This one is a bit more traditional, but again, it still is that pale pink color and it's on a sterling silver band and you have some diamonds on the side. Like, it still has that little bit of uniqueness with the color, but it fits her vibe, I think, a lot more appropriately. This just tells me that Young Thug doesn't pay attention to what she likes.
We all know that.
And that's a bad sign.
I saw a comment under the shade room that said there's too many birds on the ground instead of the sky. I'm so sorry. I will be using that going forward, so thank you. But why was it under the announcement of Young Thug and Mariah's engagement? Speaking of that engagement, my thoughts. I don't think I have any. Like, I saw the announcement, on social media, and I literally said, interesting. That is a choice.
So, guys, if you want to know, what do I think? By the way, I'm doing a no makeup look. The entire point is for me to go on Carlos King looking like I just have great skin and the naturally snatched cheeks. I'm not trying to do a full face beat like my makeup artist does. It's a bird epidemic. Somebody said the ring looked like it came from TJ Maxx. Ooh. All right. And if you want to know what I think, Kid Fury has pretty much done it looks really not. Thank you. I'm the girl who will sit here for 30 minutes and put on makeup just to look like I'm not wearing makeup. That's why whenever I want to look like I'm wearing makeup, I have to hire somebody else because my natural inclination is just to look well rested. If I ever get plastic surgery, the whole point of plastic surgery will just be to look well rested. I don't want to look like a whole different bitch, right? Because I actually like how I look. So there's one person, Kid Fury, who pretty much sums up what I have to say about Mariah the Scientist before we move on.
I didn't want nothing. I just figured, you've been ignoring all the other ones in your life. So, why don't I just be a living reminder? Hope this helps.
Yeah. That's all. I feel like I've done so much conversation around Mariah that it would be redundant. You guys can all guess what I'm about to say. So best of luck. My condolences, whichever fits. I do like having cheeks again, though. What do they call that thing? The buccal fat removal? Who needs a buccal fat removal when you can just fucking put on some contour? For all the girlies who are in my shade, I highly recommend Espresso. This shit is so pretty. This color is so pretty. All right. We're now going to do the obvious, guys. We're now going to talk. Yes, like the video. And by the way, should I call these quickies? I feel like doing a 90-minute live with y'all when y'all are used to being here for like 3+ hours does feel like a quickie. So maybe I'll call these get ready with me quickies, right? Because this feels like I'm going to have to log on just when it's starting to get good. And I kind of hate that. All right. Oh, you did the buckle. Did you like it? There's this plus size model that I think is so gorgeous. Her name is Precious Lee, I think. She's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. She looks like she got the buckle fat. By the way, guys, this is the thing that always happens to me whenever I do makeup. I love my big black beauty mark, but makeup covers it up. Do I have a eyeliner? Am I going to have to draw my beauty mark back on my face that I was born with? Ain't that some shit? My beauty mark is hidden. I don't want it to be hidden. You can kind of see it, I guess. All right, guys, now I'm about to talk about Nicki. It's about to get a little dark. Now, guys, the entire point of this live, and also, I'm not wearing lipstick. I tried to buy a red lipstick from Sephora, and the box was like a bright. I was like, oh, I'm going to have a natural face and a bright red lip. Because in France, the girls be walking around with a naked face, but as long as you got a red lip, you look snatched, right? So I walk up to them, because usually I use Ruby Woo, but I left it at home. I walk up to this really beautiful trio of miniature travel red lipsticks. And I was stunned because the box looked like somebody had like sharded all over it. It was like smeared. So I said, hey, can I get a discount for this box being dirty because it's the last box? They were like, no. I was like, you're going to give me a dirty box with no discount? And then I said, open the box. They opened the box. One of the three was missing. Somebody shoplifted it. And I was so sad that I could not get a red lipstick because it was a dirty box. The only red lipstick I liked was a dirty box. However, what I did do, don't worry, I am putting on blush. I'm still debating putting on lashes. What I did do, though, is I just got my favorite lip gloss. If you want to know the lip gloss that I'm always smearing on me, promise me if you get this lip gloss, you're going to do it from the affiliate thing at the bottom so I can get some commission. My favorite lip gloss, because it is the most, hold on. My favorite lip gloss, because it is the most natural way for a Black woman to have her lips be moisturized while still having a touch of pink that does not feel cartoonish, is by this Asian brand called Tower 28. It's linked, don't worry. Tower 28 makes these brand of lashes, and the one that I use is XOXO, Hugs and Kisses. I love this. You see this? It looks dark as fuck, but in real life, it's a natural pink. Somebody said set the beauty mark with some powder too. Okay, look, I'll follow directions. So I love this lip gloss when my face is naked, because when your face is naked, it just makes you look like you've been kissing on somebody. And when your face has makeup, it's not as clear as regular lip stock, so it doesn't look like I'm wearing chapstick, right? It's not that greasy chapstick look. So if you are a girl of any color, I think this is actually racially neutral. I don't know any race of people from the darkest black to the palest pale who would not look great with Tower 28 XOXO. God, now I feel like I'm doing a fucking commercial. All right, now we're going to talk about Nicki, guys. We're going to talk about Nicki because it's the elephant in the room and we have to. And I intentionally want this section of us talking about Nicki to be us centering the barbs, because for those of us who have already caught on a while ago, we weren't shocked. I don't know a single person aside from the barbs who was shocked by this. Oh, you think it's a pretty color? You like the lip gloss? Look at the link. Look at the link. It's Tower 28. But no, the barbs are going through it. And I actually wanted to censor them because I know we make fun of the barbs a lot. I know we clown them for their fandom. But the truth is, the barbs are a bunch of misfits, queer kids, outcasts who thought they found someone who understood them in Nicki, right? They thought they found someone who made them feel valuable, somebody who made them feel like they were taking their power back. I'm not going to hold you. I'm not a barb, but sometimes when I would listen to Nicki Minaj songs, I would suddenly feel like the most powerful bitch in the room. Nicki in her prime was incredibly empowering, in the same way that Jay-Z used to be for niggas who are now in their 50s, right? So there's something about Nicki that is very akin to Hove and even Kanye in his prime. And I'm never going to lie about her. I'm never going to lie about her, right? And so, yeah, she love bombed them. If I was a little gay boy who felt like shit and Nicki told me that there was a little gay boy named Roman living inside of her, And Roman was a badass who felt like, fuck y'all, I still matter. I don't have to unalive myself. I don't have to hide in the shadows. I can be weird and make funny faces and make noises. I'm sure a lot of Nicki's fans are neurodivergent, whether they've been diagnosed or not. All the social misfits who, in the same vein as Lady Gaga's fandom, found a home in Nicki. And so the empathetic part of me that cares about people outside of these fandoms that like to sector themselves off, the humanistic side of me is heartbroken. I'm heartbroken that some of those barbs are now waking up this morning realizing that they were led astray and that they were just a cash grab. Some of those barbs have now been brainwashed and are going to be talked into justifying nasty bigotry because they feel an allegiance to this woman and what she meant to them when they were 11 and 12 years old. And some of the barbs have, congratulations, come to their senses and recognize immense talent when it comes to the arts does not mean that you are psychologically safe or intellectually sound. The third group, congratulations on the clarity. The first two groups, my heart goes out to you, sincerely. So we're going to center the barbs during this next compilation because I want you guys to get a taste of, and mind you, going into barbs territory to do this compilation, the kids are not all right.
Nicki Minaj has truly been...
Oh, by the way, we're going to start off with a video from just 2 weeks ago. This young man made this video 2 weeks ago. I can't remember the last time a video aged so poorly. Somebody look at the tags. I always make sure to include the TikTok. Somebody look at his page and see if he's okay. Because I have meetings all day. I can't. This aged so poorly. I'm embarrassed for him.
Such a huge supporter of the LGBTQ community. And to see so many people try to make it seem as if she's transphobic or as if she's homophobic is really crazy. And to see a lot of the barbs say that, oh, I could never support Nicki Minaj because she supports Donald Trump and she's homophobic and transphobic is crazy to me. Nicki Minaj.
Did you hear that? 2 weeks ago, he was saying Nicki Minaj being called transphobic and homophobic is crazy to me. Oh, honey. Is it true that she had her fans desecrate a grave? Allegedly. Somebody said, what stage of grief is this? This was the denial before the obvious. But let's let him cook. We're only showing the first minute or so of his video because it's embarrassing if you watch the entire thing, how wrong he ends up being. But I want you to see where her stands were as of the top of December.
Literally has a gay boy living in her named Roman. Nicki has literally shown support to transgenders, to studs, to people who like to dress in drag, to all types of people. She's done music with people in the LGBTQ community. So to say that Nicki Minaj is transphobic or homophobic is crazy. So if Nicki Minaj is so homophobic, mind you, Nicki Minaj know that more than 50% of her fan base is gay, lesbian, LGBTQ, some type of homo. With Nicki Minaj knowing that, how could y'all really say that she don't like the LGBTQ community? Nicki Minaj literally canceled her Saudi Arabia show to show support for the LGBTQ community. And y'all got the nerve to sit up here and say that she doesn't support y'all or that she's transphobic or homophobic.
16 paranoia-filled days later.
Be boys. It's nothing wrong with being a boy.
She's not homophobic or transphobic, but she's in a room full of MAGA talking about boys will be boys, so be happy being a boy. Did y'all already forget when Nicki used to cosplay as being bisexual? Oh, somebody posted it. Nicki, I take dick from pedophiles Minaj. Oops, sorry. I was supposed to be behaving. Allegedly. She tried to convince y'all she was bi to make some money. And then decided to call herself an ally instead because she didn't want to kiss no girls. And y'all are acting as if her ability to be performative for clout is something new and has not already happened. Oh, yeah, she did. I had videos of it, but I didn't want to.
How about that? Amen. How powerful is that? How profound is that?
Who the fuck calls themselves powerful and profound? Who says boys will be boys? It's okay to be a boy. How powerful is that? How profound is that? Martin Luther's ain't got nothing on me. By the way, complete ADHD aside, I've always wanted to do a spoof band called Martin and the Luthers. I think it'd be amazing. This is another thing about me wearing eyeliner. I always look so Asiatic when I put on eyeliner. I'm always trying to make my eyes look bigger, but the minute I put on eyeliner, well, I look like Nicki Minaj actually. Ooh. She's a beautiful woman. I'm not coming for her. I'm just saying. Somebody said, is it crack? There's a video that I chose not to show of Nicki and her husband where I question their sobriety. By the way, guys, I'm just putting on some mascara. I'm not putting on a bunch of makeup. If you came here for a full face, again, I just don't want to look homeless. That's all. So I've done my face. I'm gonna put on some blush so I look like I was running outside, and I'm gonna put on some mascara, and that's it. Actually, I might, if we have time, use some of this dark burgundy eyeliner and try to play around with adding some red to my lashes so that it matches my hair when it's down. But if we ever do a get ready with me, just understand I like my natural face, so we're not going to do much more than whatever the fuck this is. Okay? I hate to disappoint. I know some of the girls be putting on layers. Right? And it's artwork. You are Picasso, bitch. That's a whole new face. I ain't got that in me. Apologies.
Erica Kirk today did a surprise interview with Nicki Minaj. You can see there Erica bringing on Nicki Minaj to the stage. But I took notes of the interview and what Minaj said because I think it's actually very instructive of how Republicans treat celebrities.
Oh, this is level setting. For anybody who was able to somehow skirt around all the... Nicki is an actress, by the way. Nicki went to school to be an actress. There's videos of her literally pretending to be the person she would end up being. So was Tupac, actually. Tupac was an actor, and that's a whole other video for another time about my thoughts around who Tupac really was. But Nicki was an acting student, and so I don't think you guys realize that Roman isn't the only cosplay she's doing. I think Nicki Minaj is cosplay. The character Nicki Minaj, I think, is cosplay, just as much as Roman.
And the ultimate grift of both Turning Point and Nicki Minaj. So as you saw there in the photo, Erica brought Nicki Minaj on stage. Minaj starts off by saying that she is honored to be there, and then they immediately start attacking Gavin Newsom. Yep. Nicki Minaj calls Gavin Newsom Gavin Newscum.
For anybody who's wondering, why does Nicki Minaj, this is a little bit of political tea that I've already done before, so the OGs bear with me for repeating myself. And if you're wondering, why do I keep layering the powder? It's because when I'm under harsh lights for a lot of hours, and I'm about to do 4 hours of tapings today, the first thing to melt is under my eyes. So I've gotten into the habit of layering my, I did forget to show you. This is my Laura Mercier pressed powder. I'm not a makeup girly, but if there's one product I will always buy when I start wearing makeup again, it will always be the Laura Mercier pressed powder. Oh, yeah, when y'all were doing banana powder and looking crazy, Laura Mercier pressed powder, I think it's the one thing I didn't add, so maybe I'll add it to the thingy. It's amazing because it works like no other, and it feels very, very like silky soft. All right. So for those of you who are here for the makeup and the tea, just wanted to shout that out.
Which is Donald Trump's
favorite. But Gavin Newsom, sorry. Gavin Newsom is considered by the Republicans to be the white Obama. The only thing more dangerous to the GOP than Obama, because if Obama ran for a third term, he would win. They've done polls. If Michelle Obama ran for a first term, she would win. Although I've been told by many of her friends in the industry that, and by industry I mean politics, I've been told many of her friends that there's not a chance in hell she hates politics. The Obamas are kryptonite to the Republican Party. Gavin Newsom is considered the white Obama. If a biracial black man is kryptonite, the only thing scarier than him is the white version of him. So if you're wondering why Gavin Newsom from the state of California, where I live, is such public enemy number one, and why California is pissing off the Trump so bad in his administration, it's because they already know that if Gavin Newsom runs next year, they are in trouble. Not next year, next whatever, they're in trouble. Oh yeah, and he's fine. That's part of why they call him the white Obama. So I've got a lot of people saying to me, Blue, why are they so focused on California's got, like, what's going on? It's because the polls have said if this man runs, then everybody from MAGA is in trouble. And because he's also white, they can't do the racial dog whistles that they did with the Obamas. So whether you like Gavin or not, it's between him and the Antichrist. Okay?
name for him, told Gavin Newsom to tread lightly, and then repeatedly called him Gavi Poo. She said, Gavi Poo, be warned, etc. Very bizarre start to that conversation. Nicki Minaj then gets into how much respect and admiration she has for Donald Trump. She said this specifically: he has given us a chance to beat the bad guys and let the good guys win. Interesting. She went on about how Trump and JD Vance are smart, strong, and powerful men, and really was quite lavish in her praise of Trump and Vance. But Erica Kirk asked Nicki Minaj, why politics now? Why are you getting involved? I think it actually gives us some really good insight into what Nicki Minaj's motivations are in this. But she asked, why are you involved? Nicki Minaj said, well, I'm getting involved in politics because I'm tired of being pushed around, and that it seems like we're not allowed to have an opinion anymore, a different opinion, or speak our minds. Well, you have this massive platform that you're speaking on now, Nicki, so I'm not sure that's entirely true. But it's interesting, she says, I'm tired of being pushed around. And I genuinely think that this whole thing for Nicki Minaj stemmed from her beef with Megan Thee Stallion.
Do you know how fragile you have to be? That because you weren't able to bully Megan Thee Stallion using her dead mother as a punchline, because you weren't able to bully Megan Thee Stallion and she had a bar in a diss track to you that did numbers, you are so fucking fragile that you've come undone and now painted yourself as the victim because Megan's Law. Megan's Law got you this fucked up. You know that if you don't marry a pedo, I'm just saying, there was ways to avoid this, my friend.
And when Megan had the line about Megan's Law, implying that Nicki Minaj's husband was an abuser. Now, I'm not going to go into all of that, but I honestly think that is what cooked Nicki Minaj's brain and sent her down this kind of right-wing rabbit hole.
I ain't gonna say too much because I know how y'all get about that pink wig lady, but showing up at a Turning Point USA event, meanwhile, Turning Point USA is the same people who gonna be responsible for teaching kids that slavery was beneficial, and they're actively committed to the destruction of Black and queer communities, is indeed a choice. But hey, I digress.
This past weekend, Turning Point USA just held what my friend Lauren has been affectionately calling Kirkchella in Arizona. It was the Turning Point America Fest. Anyway, Nicki Minaj was there, and she publicly on stage not only endorsed Donald Trump and MAGA, but also said that Black women need to stop blaming white women for everything.
If we felt like that as Black women, why would we want to do that to other women?
This pissed me off. Sorry, guys. I'm putting some of the red. You can't see it because I'm in my walk-in closet right now, but I'm putting some of the red from this. This is a trick for girls who dye their hair red. It is the e.l.f. Smoky Kohl eyeliner in this like dark burgundy color. A little bit of burgundy. You probably can't tell, but it will show up on camera. A little bit of burgundy when you have red hair in your brows immediately ties it together. It like softens the black, right? So I know this looks weird, but putting red, dark red in your brows with a little bit of dark brown, my makeup artist taught me that. Now back to Nicki. Nicki went on a large rant that I didn't want to post too much of. I'm debating if I want to do false lashes. I really don't feel like doing false lashes. I know that false lashes would make me look more glam, but then I'm just going to wash it off right afterwards. Carl's going to get whatever he gets, y'all. But Nicki came on a huge rant in a room full of mostly white people talking about how Black women are basically haters because we blame everything on white women. You guys like it no lashes? Oh, wow. Y'all really like the natural look. My people. Nothing wrong with glam, guys. I'm not saying I'm one of those people who shames girls for wearing makeup. I'm not one of those. But no, my lashes are so small, guys. This is mascara, child. I got tiny lashes. I'm gonna think about doing some lash liner. What do they call it? Lash serum to see if I can grow my lashes out. Honestly, I probably am gonna end up putting on. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. Anyways, guys, Nicki talking shit about Black women in a room full of white people and Black conservatives next to Charlie Kirk's hyper blonde wife. That level of coonery, to be this big of a star and tell white women not to listen to Black women because we're being haters who are blaming them for how insecure we are.
Why would we now need to make other people downplay their beauty?
I am going to pray, hoping.
By the way, I actually bought some Grande Lash. It's somewhere in my boxes because, you know, I'm moving. I will be using it. Thank you for the reminder. I forgot that I bought it thanks to TikTok Shop fucking eating my wallet every day.
Pray that this puts the Nicki Minaj stans in the gay community finally in their place. Because whether it is Nicki clinging to the MAGA movement and Donald Trump for some shred of relevancy, or the fact that she's married to a offender who a high school aged girl with a knife, a girl that Nicki knew, or the fact that Nicki paid for her brother's legal fees after he a 12-year-old girl and then paid for a private investigator to stalk and harass said 12-year-old girl.
I had to cover Nicki for, which one of these is the blush brush? Powder brush. I had to cover Nicki's brother's case when I was working as media, as press, and this is all true, guys. She's not lying. Nicki not only financed her brother's court case, she also allegedly, according to the victims, hired people to harass the people that her husband assaulted, allegedly. On her brother's behalf and her husband's behalf. In fact, the young girl that her husband allegedly assaulted said that her daughter was at a club one time and was hanging out, and she was with a group of friends feeling safe, and her daughter saw somebody approach her, and the person walked up to her daughter and said, "Tell your mother to keep her mouth the fuck shut." Imagine being a young girl at a party with friends, a grown man walks over to you, you think he's trying to get your number or just be a regular perv, and you find out that it's a hit man on behalf of Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty coming to threaten you because he's been watching you for weeks. So I just need you to know how dark this gets. I need you to understand just how dark this really gets. Those who are saying apply mascara after curling, I didn't buy a curler, guys. Sephora got enough of my fucking money.
Barbs, I need you to be so fucking for real. Bottom line is this washed up, transphobic, homophobic, grifting, PDF file defending weirdo has gotta go. And gay club DJs, I need you to expeditiously get her off of your fucking playlist.
You have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president.
Amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president.
On my page, I've been posting since September a Nicki verse every single day because she said her new album is going to be dropping in March 27th, 2026. And I want to set the record straight with my content, who I am, and what I'll be continuing to post. So I absolutely...
Okay, guys, I think we have our first miss. The blush that I ordered that they ran out of that's linked is Raisin by MAC. I've been using Raisin Blush by MAC for years. Highly, highly recommend it. They ran out of it, and so she substituted it with this Juvia's Place blush that everybody and their mother is always telling me to buy from Juvia's Place, and my makeup artist has used it on me before, and I love what I've seen. But this blush is a little bit too red for me. Yeah, Raisin is the OG. Raisin is more muted. This blush is a little bit too blushy for me. I look like somebody smacked the shit out of me. I look like somebody smacked the shit out of me. What the fuck? You know what? It is what it is, child.
Stand against everything that Donald Trump and their regime stands for. That's not who I am. I've never supported it. I will continue to not support it and work against it. On the same side of that coin, two things.
Wait, not on the same side of the coin. Do you hear how this barb is saying, I've been posting a Nicki verse every single day since she announced that her album was coming out on March, whatever. Did he miss the part where she said, never mind? If you're a barb, how do I know that and you don't? You're a barb. Anyways, this young man is saying he has been posting her verses every day leading up to March for the album release that's not going to be released. That alone should have told you that his discernment is off. But now he's saying, I don't stand by anything MAGA, even though I look like I am MAGA, like I'm a typical MAGA looking person. For those of you who are saying it's pretty, thanks. I barely put any on though. The fact that I just touched my cheek lightly and it's this pink, Raisin, you can lay that shit. So Juvia, I'm sure you're great. And the colors are pretty. The colors are very pretty. It's just this is a little bit pinker than I wanted. Because I already have pink lips, right? But when someone makes a point that should be the end of the sentence, and then says, but on the other side, two things can be true. Unless you are someone who is well-versed in nuance. Somebody said Juvia is always pigmented. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't put, if I had known Juvia was this pigmented for how little I put on my cheeks, if y'all understood how little I put on, you'd be shocked that you could see this much. Thank you for letting me know for next time. When somebody makes a great point like this and they keep going, I get nervous that they're about to take back everything they said. And unfortunately, this young man did.
Can be true at once. Nicki Minaj is the greatest female rapper to ever live, and until somebody steps their game up to beat her, I will be listening to her music.
Ooh.
Have I ever looked to Nicki Minaj for political advice? No. Will I start doing that now? No. But I just want to put this out there and have that nuance with focusing on the music. I want Nicki Minaj to start focusing on the music because the album's coming. There hasn't been a lead single. We don't have.
So we're going to pretend that her music is not her heavily talking about her views. We're going to pretend that she hasn't already mentioned Donald Trump in songs. Why are you acting like it's Nicki Minaj versus the music when Nicki Minaj's personality and her politics and her thoughts about life have always been included in her music? How are you saying the word nuance, but acting as if you don't actually understand what it means and ironically missing the nuance in your own fucking argument? Stick to y'all day job. Not everybody is meant to be a social commentarian. Not everybody's meant to be a social commentarian. All right, let me continue with my powder on.
The cover art. I want the focus to be on the music, and that's what I'm trying to do with my page, is bring the focus back to the music.
You guys, they didn't give me my powder. My NW45 isn't in here. I was supposed to set all this with my actual powder. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Y'all, I don't have any powder. Okay, I'm going to have to DoorDash it. Sorry. Fuck.
Look, I said this before. I said it once. I'll say it again. It's still Team Nicki Minaj over here. I'm sorry. If you feel hit, keep on.
Not they said, still Team Nicki Minaj, I don't give a fuck. Somebody said, use my Laura Mercier. You know what? My Laura Mercier actually is my exact skin color. Y'all are good. Look at y'all helping me out. Maybe I was supposed to do this live while getting ready so y'all can help me save me from myself. Appreciate y'all. I'm gonna just use Laura Mercier.
I'm scrolling. Now, listen, I understand that, people don't agree what's been going on with her political views, her being a Trump supporter or not. Listen, I don't know if she is, and honestly, truthfully, I don't care. Mm-hmm. I have never been into politics. I don't care. I did a video about this a few days ago, or a week or so ago, and about people being mad at her because her doing this thing with politics and her apparently being a Trump supporter. If she is, okay, go ahead. But if she's not, that's amazing as well. But me, I don't give a fuck about all that. Bitch, give me the music.
Nicki Minaj, you have officially crossed the line. I am a long-time barb, so before any of the barbs try to come at me and say that I'm...
Now, hold on. Now, his makeup tutorial would be something. You want to talk about a look that I want to see how he got ready? Sir, there's a lot going on. And for her to say she's not into politics as a Black woman in America in 2025 is... thank you. Her mere existence is political. Y'all be sounding so dumb.
A hater of Nicki. I don't like Nicki. I'm literally wearing the merch I got from going from her tour twice. Also a signed CD up there. Now, I'm very much so a proud barb. For the past year, it has been so hard to continue my support to Nicki Minaj because of the way she's supporting the current administration right now. I have saw past, her husband, and I have never condoned that, and I never really liked him. I never supported that at all, and I was just like, you know what, it is what it is. I love Nicki Minaj, so that's something I'm willing to look past.
You're willing to look past pedophilia? As a blatantly queer man wearing bright lime green lip liner, eyeshadow, and the glossiest of glosses, and a dangly earring, you are willing to look past assault when you are a poster child for the kind of person who would get beat up by Kenneth and his friends. The stories y'all tell yourselves to justify shit that is unjustifiable will never cease to amaze me.
I'm not saying it's a good thing to look past at all. However, I was a hardcore Barb. I still am a hardcore Barb. I love Nicki Down. Her music has helped me so much throughout.
She doesn't love you, baby. She doesn't love you. I feel like I'm talking to Mariah, the scientist, all over again when I take her hand and says, he doesn't love you. You're convenient. Nicki doesn't love you. These poor babies.
My teenage coming out era and just like everything. She's helped me so much through her music, and she has empowered me and makes me feel empowered. So to see her support this administration that goes against everything that I am is so disheartening. I'm not wanting to do this with Nicki Minaj, but I have to separate the art from the artist, and it sucks. It sucks.
Nicki Minaj being a Trump supporter is probably one of the less shocking things I have heard this year. And that's simply because if you've been paying attention, I feel like the cracks really started to show in 2020 when she made those comments about the COVID virus and about her cousin. I can't even repeat what she said about her cousin, but you just had to be there. In 2022 or 2023, the Barbs linked up with known white supremacist Ben Shapiro to diss Megan Thee Stallion together. Then on top of that, I don't really remember her saying anything about Kamala Harris last year during her entire campaign. Look, it's been coming. This has been approaching. If you were to ask my opinion on if I think she's being serious or not, I would tell you that I honestly feel she is 50%.
The person who said, Blue, I love your ring liner. I cannot for the life of me figure out how you do it. I didn't. It's just the shape of my eyes, guys. I don't know how to do wing liner. I just follow the shape of my eyes. I do not know how to do any makeup techniques. I just follow. Sorry. I agree it's hard, but if my eyes weren't shaped like this, it would, yeah.
% dead serious and also 50% grifting. This is giving grift. And I'm sure a lot of y'all who have been in online political spaces, you'd agree with me because we can spot grifts a mile away. It has that sense of desperation trying to get as much of attention as possible. Like it's the tweet after tweet, the retweets, heavy interaction with right-wing political figures. Like we've seen this before. Candace Owens did it. Jeffree Star's doing it.
Yes, Mitson said, Blue, please talk about if there was ever a time to separate the art from the artist. Yes, perfect example. If the art has some value of improving the world that is astronomical and has a depth to it, right? And the artist has in any way evolved. Perfect example. I'm about to play a clip for you guys soon about how back in the day, Malcolm X came out against Lena Horne and Dick Gregory for being puppets of white supremacy. One could argue that the work that Dick Gregory, and full disclosure, I went to India with Dick Gregory's daughter, Ayanna Gregory, so there is some personal connection there. The work that Dick Gregory did for the many decades after Malcolm X pointed that out, the impact he had, the truth to power that he spoke when Malcolm, Martin, and Medgar were all dead. To me, the value of that outweighs whatever sins of coonery that Malcolm X might have thought that he was guilty of. And so it's math, right? If you are harmful at a 6 and your contribution is a 9, I can separate the art from the artist. But if you are harmful at a 9 and the art is a 9, I have to let you go because we're at 0. Yes, Dick Gregory evolved. Yeah. So one could see the clip I'm about to play in a couple of minutes and be like, fuck Dick Gregory. But he evolved and had a value that was bigger than that moment. So yeah, it's math. I always do math. I'm gonna be honest. I do math in relationships too. If I am annoyed by doing something at a 20%, because I did a lot of black nerdy fine niggas who like anime. I'm not an anime girl. But if it annoys me at 20% to have to lay there with you and watch anime, but it brings you joy at 80%, I'm willing to deal with 20% of annoyance to bring my man 80% joy, because his joy far surpasses how I'm being inconvenienced. If something offends me at 80% and you love it at 80%, we're going to have to hang out another day. Right? So it's math. The answer to that is it's math. I think what R. Kelly did is a perfect example of R. Kelly's impact in my childhood and the music industry was heavy-handed, and his destruction was also heavy-handed. Just do the math, guys. Your favorite autistic, just do the math.
Charlie Kirk was the master of this. I can just tell, like, her heart is not in it, but her pockets are in it. And the economy is rough for everybody. So that's why I feel like this is a grift. And people that are about to come in the comments and be like, Nicki's a millionaire. She doesn't need that money. Don't underestimate how much the right is willing to pay you to be their talking head. I remember when I got on this app in 2020, people were mistaking me for Christian Walker. A popular political hype house DM'd me asking me to make content for them in exchange for $500 to $2,000 a month with the potential for that to grow.
By the way, being a PDF file, I love when y'all use that language, is definitely a 10. Full stop, it's a 10. There's no math, it's a 10.
As my account grew. I was a teenager at the time. I am really shocked I didn't take it. I gotta be honest. I'm sorry, y'all. I thought about it.
So this man is saying that because he was, he does look like Christian, because he was mistaken for that young man who's that right-wing talking head, he was offered $500 to $2,000 a month as a kid to do right-wing content. If they're offering that to a nobody kid who they mistook for somebody else, what do you think they're offering Nicki Minaj? Before we realized who Trump fully was, what did Nene always say when she was on Trump? I mean, when she was on The Apprentice, she's like, "Baby, I'm getting Trump checks. I have Trump money." I don't think you guys understand just how rich the GOP is. All that oil adds up. I also have a suspicion, because somebody said, "Blue, you keep on saying it's because he's a pedophile and she's trying to get a pardon, and the president can't give a pardon." First of all, Donald Trump doesn't listen to rules. So just because a president shouldn't technically give a pardon, the president shouldn't technically act like a king either. And yet here we are. So technicalities and propriety with a grain of salt when it comes to the Trump administration. Also, though, I was like, yes, she wants the covering of the GOP to keep her husband safe when he's within 500 feet of a school or a playground. But I was like, wait a minute. I suspect there's another reason why she's doing this. For her, not just for him, right? We're all working off of the premise that she's doing this for her husband. I did some research and I Googled one sentence. And the answer to that one sentence that I Googled has now been the seedling of what I suspect is Nicki's true reason. We're going to get to that in a second.
But again, I didn't really need the money. My house wasn't being attacked. My name wasn't being ripped apart in the media. My significant other is allowed to be at my child's school. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to put myself in her shoes. I'm not trying to be shady. But sometimes when you get desperate, you do things. And it's unfortunate that she is tarnishing her legacy. And people, unfortunately, are not going to look at her the same. But I'm trying to hold space for the bars because I was a barb when I was like 11. And I really do get it because Nicki really did make a safe space for LGBTQ, specifically Black LGBTQ individuals. Like, she made a safe space for all of that. I think a lot of the barbs are in denial, and it's okay. I'm going to give y'all your space, but I think a lot of y'all need to start making that transition to become part of the Beehive because we're really the cousin fan base.
Yes, April, we know that's the law. There's the law and there's Donald Trump. So yes, we know that's technically the law. I don't believe that statement stops Donald Trump from making phone calls. I don't believe that because Nicki's from the state of New York. What is the state where Donald Trump flexes his abilities the most? New York. Nicki's from the very state where Trump on a non-federal level has shown that his corruption actually works. So yes, we know the technical rules. We're talking about the Trump administration. They don't care about technicalities like that. Just want to point that out to anybody else who wants to tell me the obvious. Yes, I know, and we're dealing with a different beast.
Anyway, and Beyonce loves the gays. So when y'all ready, pack your bags and come on over. You got one more act left. So we can mourn Nicki together.
Now, in the grand scheme of things, remember, she just left with Donald Trump to the United Nations meeting, trying to speak out against the atrocities that are happening in Africa against Christians. It's not happening. There's no genocide in Africa against Christians. There's about 3 genocides going on right now, and none of them are about Christianity. Okay?
My repost was that, look, Nicki Minaj is a rapper, right? From Trinidad.
So I just want you to know, y'all acting like Nigerians are all like standing behind Nicki Minaj. No, they're not. There's Nigerians all over the place who are like, this is clearly a clout chase. Stop using us for a moment. And I will say this again. Saying that there is a genocide only against Christians in Nigeria is like saying that because me and Jessie Wu are two Haitian women who were one demographic of Black women who were being attacked on Threads means that Threads is attacking Haitian women would be an oversimplified misrepresentation, right? There are Christians who are amongst those who are being killed. Their Christianity is not the main sole reason. Black women on Threads are getting dragged every single day. Me and Jessie being the only two Haitians on a list that is mostly African Americans, it would be dishonest and incredibly manipulative to us to make it a Haitian issue just because we happen to be Haitian amongst women who are being attacked. It's the same thing for what's happening in Nigeria. Many people are being killed in Nigerian genocides for many reasons. Some of them happen to be Christian. Christianity isn't the... Okay. 1 + 1 is still 2. Okay.
But of Spain, that she should just concentrate on Anaconda rap music and what's that fans called? Babs. This is not, as far as I'm concerned, she's chasing clout.
Now, would that be
the fact that Nigerian journalists are like, she has no idea what she's talking about. She's chasing clout. I just wanted to include that so you could see that I'm not just some Americanized Caribbean woman who's talking out of my ass. If you need to hear it from a Nigerian, Anaconda. I know, I love when he said that, right? She needs to stick to Anaconda.
being said, and we're also fully aware that on Christmas, football's halftime, shout out to be watching that. Snoop Dogg is also doing a performance. Didn't he just do the inauguration for Trump?
Yeah. As somebody, you guys know that I grew up on Death Row Records and Oprah Winfrey, which completely sums up my personality. Be careful what your kids consume. So as somebody who grew up listening to Tupac and watching Oprah, which is why I act like this, it hurts my heart that I have to distance myself from Snoop Dogg. It really does hurt my heart. Snoop Dogg Dog Pound was the first album I ever used my own money to buy. Oh, I just texted Bridget that we're running a little bit late. Let's see if she gives me some bail. Thank you for helping me, telling me to check the time.
So when I talk about them trying to indoctrinate into the Black community and raise their Black percentage of voters, and I said it's been happening, I meant it's been happening.
Oh, the Nigerians have already named me. My Nigerian name is Chioma. They've already named me, child. My Nigerian name is Chioma, for those of you who are curious.
And y'all don't pay attention because you don't read nothing. Imagine our ancestors doing all that for us to be able to effing read legally in their society that we had to be fucking brought into, and you hoes aren't reading. Imagine that. Imagine my surprise when y'all are not reading or using critical thinking skills. After everybody who died to make sure everyone outside of cisgendered white male American-born men could get an American education.
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics.
Yes, everybody, all the Nigerians have told me I'm Igbo. Child, I'm going to get the test, okay? In 2026, guys, I promise I'm getting the African ancestry test so we can put this all to rest. If I end up being from Benin, y'all owe me an apology. If I end up actually being part Nigerian, then...
Trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader.
Can we talk about that? Because Black Americans had to fight so hard to get any semblance of respect. The only place they would even let us have a voice was through the arts. And I'm a working class creative. I say that all the time. So I'm not downplaying the arts. But the fact that that's the only place. So we're having to rely on baseball players and singers, athletes, people who are not even being educated on these topics, even though they have immense value elsewhere, to be our leaders, even though they're not equipped to lead in that way. And now people like Harry Belafonte and Dick Gregory are having to do double duty because they won't let us have actual leaders. And if we do have actual leaders, they assassinate them. Ironically, like him, right? Ironically, he is a leader, and they wouldn't even let him live. I remember Dick Gregory told his daughter Ayanna, and I remember it was emotional when we were in India. We're talking about this, and she was like, my daddy talks about when they killed Malcolm. He was there. So just know, guys, using rappers to push and peddle uneducated false information to the Black community is nothing new. It's nothing new. And even the ones, the creatives who thought they were doing their best, still in retrospect, were spoon-feeding us heaps and heaps of internalized anti-Blackness. When Quincy Jones used to be on TV talking about, I love all women. Why do y'all just focus on the fact that I date white women? I date all types of women. Okay, that's Quincy at 45. Quincy at 80 finally told the fucking truth. Quincy at 80, when the dementia made him honest, said, yeah, no, we intentionally went after white bitches. We intentionally went after white women in order to spite white men because we wanted to be them and compete with them. And how better can I compete with you than take your bitch? That's internalized anti-Blackness. Most of our heroes from a certain era are anti-Black as fuck in an internalized, subtle way that they did not have the education to clock. Uneducated creatives have been leading the movement for quite a while, and the educated leaders have been assassinated. That's why Nicki Minaj is part of a fucked up legacy that I can't stand behind. Let me chill out. Sorry, we're running late.
These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the Black community, by the white community, and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
No, because
yeah, James Earl Jones hated Black women. My God, that man hated us, child. Ooh.
This is actually really fucking weird. Nicki Minaj just showed up at Turning Point USA's America Fest for a cozy little Q&A with Erica Kirk, the new head of TPUSA. Yes, that Turning Point USA, the far-right youth org, the culture war factory. Nicki walks on stage saying she's honored to be here, then praises Donald Trump and JD Vance for being relatable. Relatable to who? Let's be clear. This is not some random appearance. This is the same Nicki Minaj who spoke at the United Nations with the Trump White House, has been posting Trump Truth Social screenshots, and is now openly aligning herself with the right-wing political infrastructure. And now she's doing events with the widow of Charlie Kirk, who literally just took over TPUSA after his assassination, and is openly...
I have never seen such a giddy widow. That might be a members-only live that we do someday. I have never seen such a giddy widow in my life.
Promising to fight and expand the movement. A rapper with tens of millions of followers standing on stage with one of the most aggressive conservative organizing machines in the country, and nobody's supposed to notice. Nobody's supposed to ask why a global music icon is suddenly being plugged directly into American far-right power networks. This is influence. This is normalization. And yeah, it's weird as hell. And if that doesn't set off alarm bells for you, you're not paying attention.
Well, that'll do it for me.
Shout out to the Barbs who are coming to their senses. I really do hurt for y'all because I understand why she means so much to y'all. I know we mock you sometimes, but I really do feel bad for y'all. I really do. Like, I love James Baldwin. Everything that I do, the way that I talk, the way that I research, the way that I confront anti-Blackness and everybody, including Black people, I get from James Baldwin. I've already figured out how imperfect he was and made peace with his humanity. So I'm clear about he's a man and he's flawed. But if I was to find out that he was like a white supremacist or some bullshit, they would find me crying by the river, child. So I can just imagine how y'all feel. It'd be devastating.
As someone who has experimented with all types of fashion, gender bending ass fashion, of course, in my formative years, I was a Barb. And my Barb friends consisted of weird ass little girls like myself, closeted little gay boys who weren't necessarily closeted.
Ooh, You Are My Baldwin is, don't make me cry. Y'all, first of all, I'm never going to receive that because that's crazy. That's big. Thank you, though. Y'all don't even understand. James Baldwin is, I feel about James Baldwin the way y'all be feeling about Beyonce. Quite literally. So again, Barbs, I get it. Trust me, I get it.
To us, some of which in adulthood are now trans women. Nicki Minaj coming out against trans kids or however the fuck, saying that the kids are being poisoned. It's like, I don't think, as someone who like was in middle school listening to you with my then homeboys, some of who are now girls, like this is the exact population that loves your guts. The kids, and it's not the adults. They loved you as kids. Yeah. You gave them an outlet as children, and actually, it's the being a barb that made a lot of queer kids feel comfortable in their queerness. I'm telling you, because I was there. When you look at cult-like fan bases, typically they're so loyal and stay for the long haul. It's like the longevity of these fan bases, because the person has given this outcast group an outlet to feel wanted, an outlet to feel accepted, an outlet to feel like there are people like themselves. Again, I know Nicki did that for queer kids.
Someone said, I agree, my last bite of oxtails at lunch. Yo, unhand me. I have to wrap up this live.
Because I was standing in line with the queer kids like, ah! I am interested to see how this plays out in the long run. Like, not right now. I don't expect anything to happen right now. But I feel like as she leans openly more into conservative waters, which she was always very conservative, I feel like openly. Bitch, I'm Republican voting for Mitt Romney. You lazy bitches is fucking up the economy. Like, she literally said it. But I feel like if she goes more into leaning into like her, the Caribbean auntie she is, into her homophobia back. Like, in the long run, what is that going to do to like the barbs and the fan base as a whole?
Nicki Minaj, they could never make me hate you. But you sure could. I think it's time to hang it up, flat screen. I'm over it. Is this a thanks that I get for being a barb for too long? Is it my fault that Nicki's become a pawn? Like, I've been a barb for like 40 years now.
Nicki, you see what happens when you train the kids to be empowered and now they're empowered against you? Because that was kind of, she ate that. Wow.
I like literally I'm 28, turning 29 this week. And I became a barb when I was 14. Okay. I've been here. I've done that. And she's put me through the ringer. She's put me through everything. I gave her everything. And this is the last straw, I guess. Bye.
I just read a barb said that if anyone was going to ruin Nicki Minaj's career, it was going to be Nicki Minaj. No other girl, no other person in the business could ruin her career but her. And that's so true.
Her aligning herself with Turning Point USA and the far right, she just came out on stage at a national convention with Erica Kirk, and I just have to say, it's gone way, way too far. There's no coming back from this. And I know the barbs are always like, y'all always say that there's no coming back for Nicki, but she comes back every time. This is not the other times.
This is different.
Even me, someone who refuses to talk about Nicki most of the time because I don't want the headache of having to deal with the barbs. This is too far. And I'm not to try to appeal to the barbs, but I like to even think that barbs know that fascism is bad.
Yeah.
Even barbs know this.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not really all that surprised given her antics recently, but I am just confused because, girl, you don't have to do this.
Maybe she does have to do this. Y'all, I have a theory. I'm going to let this play because I'm running late. And Bridget's giving me some grace to wrap this up. But I have a theory. Hey, boys and girls, do me a favor. Google, is Nicki Minaj an American citizen? Google, is Nicki Minaj an American citizen? Right. Me and Nicki have a lot in common. One of the things we have in common is we came to this country as a child, and it took a lot for us. Well, only one of us did it. For us to become citizens. One of us failed. The other one is me. It took my mother 23 years and 2 bankruptcies to gain my citizenship. Because I asked myself, I said, Blue, What is the only way that Donald Trump could even have a chance of getting you to take any sort of payout from him? It wouldn't be your integrity. It wouldn't be clout. It wouldn't be anything. What is the only thing that could strike fear in your heart enough to make you even consider listening to him? And let's say you're someone who's so emotionally fragile, it couldn't be your nigga, because you would do whatever it takes for you to be okay before him. And I said, well, bitch, the only thing that Donald Trump could ever do to scare me like that would be to take away my citizenship. And so I said, now, hold on. No. Because I've been a citizen for a very long time. Those laws are from back in a long time ago. Nick is a citizen too. It's hard to take it away from somebody who already has it. The only way that would even be a thing is if she didn't have it at all. But Nicki has to be a citizen, so I Googled, is Nicki Minaj a citizen? And suddenly all this makes fucking sense. Fuck Kenneth Petty. An unevolved Sag will always look out for themselves.
I was playing.
Nicki Minaj has gone full-blown MAGA on Twitter, or X, right? And I think it's because she's scared of deportation. She is starting to get worried with this immigration policy because, mind you, she's been in the United States since she was 5 years old, and she's still not a citizen. And pre-COVID, she even talked about how hard it is to get citizenship in this country. You can be a multimillionaire. You can be a celebrity. And it's still a hard process to get citizenship. It's easier just to renew your green card, right? She has gone so far to turn against her own fan base. She literally, the LGBTQ is like her ride or dies, right? They do all her dirty work for her, right? And she went on to say that trans people are not normal.
Yes, they are planning to deneutralize a lot of people. So even citizenship, some of us are not safe. Yes, unless you are working with them. The only way that they can't take away the citizenship you did have or deport you for not having it at all is if you work with them. That is literally the only place you are 100% safe, guys.
They're not normal. Which I don't even think that Nicki Minaj really was for the gays anyway.
I don't either.
Just based on the fact that she is Caribbean. No tea, no shade. But yeah, she's turned on her own fan base. Nicki Minaj is seeing all these people being deported. People are going to their immigration meetings and, they're here legally. They have the paperwork to be here, but they're going to their immigration meetings and being deported. I've seen a man, he was married to a Canadian woman. He also voted for Trump, and she was deported for a charge that she got 20 years ago, a misdemeanor. They are getting people out of here.
If law-abiding citizens who are looking to become actual citizens of this country are getting deported for minor offenses, what do you think happens to people who are not citizens at all? Particularly those who have a long history of potentially coercing victims and harboring people who have committed heinous crimes and have been convicted of said crimes. If Nicki Minaj, I will say this, the part where I knew something was off was that Nicki didn't say anything pro Kamala. And at the exact time that she was talking about how much Black women are, always under attack. Her shield has always been, I'm a Black woman, you need to look out for Black women. So when an actual Black woman ran for president, who is Caribbean just like her, and she said nothing, because Nicki is a Caribbean who clearly has a little bit of Coolie or Asian background, right? And I know that's a slur, so I apologize, but there are a lot of people in Trinidad and Jamaica who have Asian and or Indian backgrounds. I thought Kamala would be the person that Nicki would be the most excited about. And I always thought myself thinking, this is probably the candidate you should have been standing for the most. Why haven't you said anything? She's a bad bitch with similar mixed Caribbean heritage. Why did you say nothing about Kamala? And then you got quiet, and then you went for Trump. And then I realized, oh, honey, Nicki is covering her own ass. We thought she was covering her husband. You underestimate how selfish Nicki is. I don't think this is about her husband anymore. I think it helps her husband, because it'd be nice if they could go to Chuck E. Cheese for her baby's birthday one of these years, So I think her husband is the icing. I think Nicki covering her own ass is the cake. And guess who is a citizen and can't be deported? Cardi B.
And she is very nervous. She's also had a charge years ago, and her husband is a habitual offender. He's a sex offender, right? So I think that she's starting to get a little bit worried. So she's trying to build connections with the Trump administration to secure her spot in the United States of America. This may work for her or it may not. I wouldn't be surprised.
Those were surprised. Yeah, I've been told cool is a slur, and I'm just gonna respect it. I'm just gonna respect it. So yeah. If you tell me something's a slur, I ain't gotta say it ever again, child. I'm not gonna fight to unintentionally hurt people. But yeah, I just found out recently.
Trump's old freaky self wanted to sleep with her for that citizenship. But I don't know that this is the right method, considering look how the Trump administration did Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like, they used her up and then threw her to the wolves. So it's like, you're pandering to this community for your own benefit, but they will use, they're racist and they don't like immigrants, right? And you're black and you're an immigrant, so they don't like you. And they're going to use you just like JD Vance and
child. They tried to deport, didn't they try to deport Slick Rick? The American government don't give a fuck. 21 Savage, didn't 21 Savage allegedly have to marry a lady so he wouldn't get deported? 21. What that mean? If this country really wants you out, they don't give a fuck. Respectfully.
Immediately, like once he saw that Nicki Minaj was on his side, started with the Nicki Minaj versus Cardi tweets, right? Mind you, Cardi, y'all always calling her Mexican, but she's here legally. She's a U.S. citizen. She ain't getting deported, right? They're just using her as a pawn. Look, there's a black person that supports this, and she's a celebrity. Don't get treated like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Don't lose your whole fan base pandering to this administration. And then what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work and they deport you? And now you've lost your home here in the United States, your status, and then you lost your fan base. I don't know if this, I'm not a Barb. I've been stop supporting her, but I wonder what excuse they're going to make for her now.
Guys, that concludes me breaking the case. I do, though, because you guys know I am anti-diaspora wars. I'm just going to play one last video because I do feel like the deportation aspect might go a place that I don't want it to go. So before anybody says Nikki's just a dirty black immigrant, sorry, she's not even black because y'all don't even believe black people exist outside of America for some reason. For the ADOS folks who are about to do that thing where you turn this into diaspora wars because Nikki is not an American citizen and is causing harm to black people in America, I just need you to understand you can't play diaspora wars when it comes to hip-hop.
Now saying that Nicki Minaj is not like us and is an immigrant and does not belong in hip hop.
For anybody who's even thinking of making this argument, because y'all love to take something nuanced and make it into a big old melange of mess. Yeah. You can never be anti-black, anti-immigrant, or anti-Latin when it comes to hip hop. Let's say it one more time for the folks in the back. You can never, when it comes to hip hop, be anti-black, anti-immigrant, or anti-Latin. I know y'all gonna try. I know y'all gonna thank you. We are Pan-African in this space, right? Power to the people and Viva la Raza simultaneously, because one is a race and the other one's an ethnic group, and they commingle all the time. Yeah?
All because she's Trinidadian. All while completely ignoring the fact that a Jamaican American man is considered the founder of hip hop.
Impossible. Oh, somebody wrote it down. How you gonna make this diaspora wars when is the Jamaicans and shit? It's the Caribbeans and the Latin, the Puerto Ricans and the Black Americans who all came to party together who created hip hop. Hip hop is Pan-African as fuck. I know y'all like to play this game, so I did not feel good telling you that I believe Blue Chalusma is a theory, not a fact. Her not being a citizen is a fact, though. Blue Chalusma think that Nikki's fears around immigration and her husband's cases in some way. Also, I do believe that her fragile ego, her being mad about that Megan's Law rule, that bar, right? I think it's a crock pot of fuckery that made Nikki do what she's doing. She found out that she couldn't bully the girls no more because of her husband. Didn't want to leave him, right? And she's an immigrant who could get deported, like Slick Rick, another hip hop founding father. Yeah. And with all that being said, though, hip hop is inherently Black, immigrant, Latin, and incredibly misogynistic as well. So if I'm going to look at the foundations, we got to look at all of it, good and bad. Good and bad. So let nuance be your friend when it comes to this topic. Don't be Nicki, ironically, by brushing everything in broad strokes based on ego rather than fact. Nicki Minaj is the perfect example of what happens when God has given you an extra dose of talent, an extra dose of work ethic, a double dose of blessings, and you let your hubris destroy it all. Nicki Minaj is her own demise. There's no one to blame but Nicki. And anybody who stands with her, and there are many of you. There are so many of you that I could have posted in this compilation that I didn't because I didn't want to. I'm trying to humanize the Barbs, and you guys would have made it hard to do so, okay? Some of y'all's videos would have made it hard not to do fan wars because you sounded so fucking stupid. So I saved you by not platforming you. I picked the most reasonable Barbs. Okay? I picked the most reasonable Barbs. So I want to end on this note, guys. The phrase that I want you guys to write in the replay, because y'all know I like watching the replay comments, they make me happy, is that I wish Nicki Minaj loved her own blackness so she wouldn't be a threat to ours. I wish Nicki Minaj truly loved her own blackness so she wouldn't be such a massive threat to ours. That is the phrase that I want you to write in the comments, because ironically, she's making herself a trending topic for saying that Black women need to stop blaming white women for how insecure they are while sitting there with a manufactured body that she got because she hated herself. Not everybody who gets plastic surgery hates themselves, but Nicki Minaj has confessed that she got that surgery because the misogyny of hip hop, i.e. Lil Wayne, they used to drag her and clown her so much for being flat chested with no titties and no ass and no hips. She went out and bought body parts. So you've already confessed that your confidence is a facade. Unfortunately, your pro-Black womanness also is a facade. You spent all these years saying, why do y'all have Cardi B's back? I'm a Black woman. She's not even Black. Black is not just hereditary. It's not just heritage. It's culture. It's behavior. And if I have to choose between Cardi and Nicki when it comes to pro-Blackness, I think it's very clear whose side I'm on, based on facts, not opinions. Cardi B is fighting with y'all every day to let her claim her Blackness while Nicki's doing everything in her power to attack ours. I don't respect it. All right? Love y'all. This is supposed to be a short live. Well, it's only half of what we usually do, right? Because if I didn't have this meeting, I would be going on for 2 more hours. I actually got to run now. I love y'all so much. I cannot wait to see the comments around this one. Please like, share, and subscribe because this is an important conversation. And unfortunately, Nicki's just getting started with us. All right, I gotta go. Bye, family.